All right, let's get going. All right, pick this light. the studio. Okay. Oh my God, today is a crazy day with my electronics. All right, can you guys see me? Okay. Hopefully this time it works. All right, all right. So who do we have in the chat? I see we have, oh, our beautiful and amazing Bantu Mother Queen. We have Sowelo. Hey, my dear daughter, how are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me try to. My technology is not working today. I'm not a. Maybe I can help with the microphone. Let's see. Maybe we can try with this. Oops. All right. All right. So all right. So let's get started. Can you hear me? Yes. All right. To my beautiful and amazing Royals of Afrika. Mbolo. Mbolwani, my people. This is your queen, Queen Ngningone II, 17th generation crown queen of the Fang people, also known as the Immortals. So welcome to Nubia, the Path to Return, the home of the African royals. Now, in today's live stream, we will continue our teachings, all right, about the role or the mission of women on earth, all right? So before I start, I would like to thank you to my beautiful four queens in the chat, all right? I would like to thank you for tuning in today for another message with your queen. All right. So let's start. Before I start, I would like to also thank those of you who are, blessing my work. And thank you for your support. I get a lot of, beautiful emails of encouragement and people letting me know that my teachings are indeed helping. So let's continue what we started last time. So 2 days ago, we covered the role of a woman. As you already know, this is a continuation of our teaching in partnership with our brothers over in Zola Bantu. So today I will present like a simplified version of the video that I posted like 3 months ago. I shared a link on our community, but I didn't see the views, go up, all right? Because my amazing Royals of Afrika are spoiled like that, okay? So your queen will give you a briefing of that. So I hope everybody's doing great. I hope everybody has been able to maintain peace around them. I hope everybody has been able to embark in this journey of healing, which is so crucial for our people. All right. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Those of you who are just joining me. If you are new to my channel, welcome to Nubia, the Path to Return, the home of the African royals. So If you are non-judgmental, stick around. You might learn something. All right. Other than that, I'm asking people to, keep an open mind. This teaching is to help restore our people. So what does it mean? It means that it does not apply to those who do not identify as us. So with that said, I just can expect not receiving any attacks from those. Okay? Because if I do, you know what your queen does. I roast them. All right. So today we are continuing our teaching on the mission of the woman on earth. So as I say, our brothers over in Zola Bantu put it together and stuff, and it's a content which I approve of because it does confirm what our elders, taught us. So it does confirm that we are indeed one. All right, regardless of the different countries we may have origin in and stuff like that, we are indeed one when it comes to the Bantu people, sub-Saharan Africans. All right, we have across the board pretty much almost the same do's and don'ts. So I approve their content and I will present here a simplified version of it. Okay, so we are to heal the African feminine. Okay, because previously in part one, we covered that the primary role of in the eyes of the creator, Tata Zambe. So the primary function or mission of a woman is to be the helper. And in that part one, we did cover, according to Tata Zambe, in the eyes of Tata Zambe, what kind of help we are to our male counterpart. All right. So in that part two, I suggest for those of you who are just catching our teachings tonight, it would be a great idea to go back and watch part one and two. So we covered that Tata Zambe created the woman to be the man's helper. And interestingly enough, the word helper is the English translation of the kind of help Tata Zambe sent to our male counterpart, because the Hebrew word, which, was the original scrolling, the Hebrew word shows that they use ezer. All right? Tata Zambe say, I'm sending you an ezer, which in the Hebrew language is a divine helper. Okay? He could have used the word Ezra. So we covered that. She's help that Tata Zambe, the creator, dispatched to the male kind to help them. We covered that. Go back to part one and two. And then we also uncovered that the other role the woman has is she's an essential liaison bridge, okay, connecting us to Tata Zambe, to the creator of the universe. All right. So because she's equipped to do that both spiritually and physically. Spiritually, she has what we call the bridge, which doctors would call the birth canal, through which a child comes. So we saw that before we are born into this realm, we are in the spiritual realm. So when Tata Zambe wants to dispatch a soul to come in this realm, we transit through her, we transition through her. All right. So she serves that role of liaison and bridge to bring, spirit into this realm. We cover that she's equipped for that. Why? Because she is graceful. Women by nature are graceful, and on top of that, she's equipped with intuition, very sharp intuition compared to the male's intuition. For those who don't know what intuition means, it's basically those with the ability to understand the things of the other realms, to receive message and to understand it, to break it down and accept them. All right. Men are not necessarily intuitive, or if they are, is not to the degree of the women's intuition. All right, so we cover that, and we cover by that simple fact, it makes her the recipient of the flame light of God, the flame of the light of God. So the flame of the light of God, we discover that when we say light, we mean love. Hi, JR, Monkosi JR. I see you, Papa. I see you. Welcome. So, when we say light, we mean love, we mean purity, and we mean justice. So these are the lights of God, the light of God. So the sacred flame of the light of God, only the woman is the recipient of it. And when you're recipient of something, it makes you custodian of it, and it makes you distributor. So we need her around for that light to come from the divine kingdom of God to the spiritual plane, to the ancestors, and then to us. All right. So we cover that. And we cover also that, she, of course, she gives birth, the simple fact that she's wired differently than men. She has a bridge, men don't have a bridge. So she gives life. What does it mean? She gives form. All right. A spirit want to come in this realm is just a spirit. She's the one who cooks up the baby in her womb. So she purifies, she heals, she gives life, and form. So that's what we covered previously. All right. So now today we will move forward with the role of the woman, with the third mission of the woman on earth. Okay, we are back. It seems like we're dealing with a different beast tonight. To my amazing and beautiful Royals of Afrika. There's no stopping us. I see you, my people, in there. So let's continue. So women have many roles. Okay, we covered that. Number one, she's the humanity helper, not only just male. We also covered that. Number two, all right, she's the essential liaison bridge. Now, number three, she's the guardian of the sacred flame of God. Okay. So, as you know, women, no matter the age, whether she's old, she's what we could call an elder, or whether she's a girl, or whether she's a teenager, whether, regardless of the age, right? We know our elders teach us that a woman is a woman. Okay, so always keep it in mind. If she's born today, she's just a baby. Give her a few years, she will become a woman. So we always have to keep that in mind. Okay, so the woman has many roles. Okay, and one of that role is to be the guardian, all right, of the sacred flame of the light of God. So now we will break it down. So the flame, what constitutes the sacred flame, the of the light of God? We have the flame that define the role of a woman as a mediator. Okay, so there's 6 different aspects, and we will cover each one of these roles. So number 1, she has to be a mediator. All right, she has to be a mediator, because her being the recipient, in other words, the custodian of the sacred flame of the light of God, it means that, you know, when we cover the sacred flame of the light of God, talking about peace, love encompasses, you know, the flame of love, it encompasses peace. And as we know, mediators are the one who puts out fires. Okay, so when there's a turmoil somewhere, where there's dispute, fight, argument, and stuff like that. So Tata Nzambe wants us to embrace that role as a mediator. So instead of going around, you know, like instigating stuff, gaslighting stuff, the Creator expects from the women to be graceful, you know, and their presence alone should be felt. They should bring, you know, they should bring an energy of peace, an energy of love, an energy of purity around them, an energy of, you know, justice. So you see, my beautiful and amazing Royals of Afrika, another key role is to be a mediator. So what does it mean? We have to be mindful of the way we conduct ourselves, you know, in our communities, in our families, you know, at work and stuff like that. So in this process of healing, I would like to invite our queens, you know, to redefine the roles they play. If it's one thing when you don't know, but once you know, and that's what these classes are about, is to let you know, to put you on the right path, to let you know what is our role on earth. Okay, so very important role. We have to be mediator, and even the son of Tata Nzambe, we know as Isaiah, the Christian call him Jesus. You know that even him, there are parts in the Bible where he says he could deny, denounce, even reject the male kind, that with women alone he be fine. So he speaks volume. Remember in a previous video I told you that we are so, favored, in the eyes of the Creator. So you have to be a mediator. It means when you find yourself in an environment where people are fighting, the people are counting on us, to quiet the quarrels among people, to remind them who they are and what is their mission on earth. So when we are around our men, instead of joining the madness, I see some of our daughters out there joining the madness. I don't know if it's just because we don't know. Now that we know, let's make it an effort, especially if we will speak publicly, right? So let's always ensure that we are exercising our function, our role, our duty as a mediator. Okay? Don't gaslight things. Like, I don't know if it was a couple months ago, some of these YouTube toxic masculine came after me, and his wife was sitting next to him in approval. So that shows you how far gone we are from our path. Because number one, a woman is to bring wisdom, enlighten the man. It's not okay if you want to attack her. You can't do that as a man. I would have had more respect if she was the one sitting behind that microphone, you know. But instead of, you know, being the one that said no, that's not it. You are not going and verbally assault this woman you know nothing about, because it's not right, right? She sat there and participated. So this is just an example of what we should never do as women. Okay, we are not there to make up stories. You know, many of us have destroyed many men's lives with lies, you know, telling stories that are not true. You know, when you act in that way, when you act in that matter, my dear, beautiful, and amazing daughters, keep in mind that you are walking away from your purpose. You're walking away from your path, from your mission. You may be forced to reincarnate, right? So we have to be a mediator. Now let's continue. You know, because whomever hosts the sacred flame of the light of God cannot be quarrelsome, cannot be scandalous, because you're hosting such pure energy, you know, energy of love, you know, the light of love, the light of, you know, purity, the light of justice. What does it mean? You should not participate in anything which is not fair, you know. So as a mediator, you're the one who prevent that people, you know, pull on each other, that people do drive by, that people, you know, cause other people loss and stuff like that. So when you're around men, ensure that you're fulfilling, you know, that mission. So you know, when you are the guardian of the sacred flame, the sacred flame of the light of God encompasses a list of 6 key elements we have to make sure we fulfill. Of course, the flame of love. We are responsible for giving love, not only just giving love, but also, you know, teaching the loveless what love is. You know, sometimes we get frustrated with people due to the way they handle us, due to the things they say and do to us. But many times we just fail to really look deep into, you know, their lives, you know, their background. If you could identify, you know, anybody around them who, you know, serve that role, you know, to teach them love, to give them love, because, you know, we are in a position to do that because we receive that light of love from the Creator. So as women, we have to be loving. Okay, my queens? We have to be loving. We can't harbor resentment. We can't harbor jealousy, anything of these 3D vibration stuff. You know, we can't. Christian people call it Christian people call it you know, we cannot engage into anything that is not pure, that is not loving, and that is not just. So we also have another role, you know, under that umbrella of being the custodian or the recipient of the sacred flame of the light of God. The other role is as a conservator. Okay, so you have to be a conservator. You have to be a conservator of what you receive. If you receive all, you know, if you receive the flame of the light of God, of love, of purity and justice, you have to be able to conserve it, preserve it, protect it, right? So it's in your role to do that. So what we need to understand is that our society was already, you know, well defined before before 1492. You know, when these people came, we already have, you know, our society very, very well defined. we already had, even back in Egypt, in ancient Kemet, we already had what we call separation of power. All right. In our hierarchy and stuff, we've always had separation of power. You know, we had the executive, the judiciary, and the priesthood, or the religious. We will get into that. So when they brought their Bible and stuff, the mission was to conquer us, to conquer our land, you know, take our wealth and all that. So of course, you know, the religion was a big, powerful weapon against us. So what the Bible came and told us is, like, we came from men. The Bible came and tell us that we came from his rib. And when you come from somebody, it makes you a dependent of that person. It puts you in the rank of a child, let's say in a family tree. All right? You will occupy the rank of a child for that. So they came and just ransack everything, turn all the values upside down. All right? So it's important that we observe people, even in our relationship and everything. You know, now that we have this knowledge, it's very, very important that when we choose friends, when we choose partners, when we choose spouses and stuff like that, if they are women, we have to try to observe them closely. We have to try to see if they are recipient, if they are custodian of the sacred flame of God. Because if they show traits that they have purity, that they have love, they're loving, and they always stand for justice, they always stand for the right side of the fight, then you know you have a winner. In Africa today, we still can observe, you know, some tribes, you know, by just looking at them. You see how pure their women still are. You see how their men treat them. Because once you understand the crucial role of the woman with all her attributes, you will understand that since we dropped the ball, you will understand why we're suffering. Okay? Religion play a big part into it. So we went from, you know, being that crucial person, right, humanity can't do without. So we were born in such society. We were raised in such society. Imagine our forefathers were raising us, telling us, you are so important, until today. You know, in Bantu Africa, most fathers call their daughters mama, you know, and most mothers call their sons papa, you know. So this is a sign of a woman, you know, who's still receiving, all right, that sacred flame of the light of God. All right. So there's some tribes, you know, you would see them, you know, their women are very pure, innocent, loving, tender, and stuff, but yet not weak. You know, you may see them looking meek and stuff, but don't go and mess with them and think you're going to get away with. They will stand their ground. Okay? So we have to aspire to go back to that nature. What do you think, ladies? Back to purity, back to being loving. Tell me something on the chat. Yeah, the peacemakers, respect for the queen. Absolutely. I mean, her role is so crucial when you understand. So we went from that essential character, essential person in the creation, in the tree of creation of our creator, to be reduced too close to an object around men. Okay? So we have to continue. So let's continue. Like, for example, you know, when you go to a country or a place, you know, our elders tell us, just observe their women. You know, when you observe their women, you will have a clear idea with what you're dealing with. If their women are still connected to source, if these women are still receiving, are still fulfilling that mission of being the recipient of the sacred flame of the light of God. By the way they act, you will tell. All right? So let's keep that in mind. So another thing I would like our sons, our Monkosis out there, because I know that, you know, Christianity put a lot of garbage in our head. But to our amazing beloved sons out there, our princess, our Monkosis, you know that our elders teach us that in front of Tata Nzambe, you know, when we enter the presence of the Creator, the women are our elders. All right? So when we enter the presence of the Creator, the woman goes first. Because one of the roles she does is, you know, she purifies. So she goes first. She's the custodian of the sacred flame of the light of God. So for those who, you know, don't want to agree with that, that's, you know, knowledge is for those, you know, it calls you. Whatever spirituality your ancestor had on the continent, you will find it fascinating. Our people don't lose their children. So I'm trusting that you are watching this video, you are in this chat room, or coming to check me out later because you believe I carry a message that comes from your source, from your people. Okay? So never debate people who want to be right, who think, you know, they can worship whatever else other people put out. But once you mention that African elders, they be the first one to get in front of people to question it, to do this, to do that. Never mess with such individual. Just keep on doing your thing. You're a mediator because you carry that torch. Okay, you carry that torch of the sacred flame of the light of God. It's not a small thing. It's a huge responsibility. So rank-wise, spiritually, we occupy the rank of elder before our men. So what does it mean, our son over there? It is important. It is crucial that, you know, you understand that. And when you know your place, the woman will fall in her place. It will force her because you are to encourage her too. Okay? Don't buy into that toxicity. You know, they taught us that she comes last after you and stuff. You see, we've been in that system. Where has it led us? Nothing. So let's be smart about what our elders, you know, teach us, and to make sure we apply it, we implement it in order for us to fully be healed. All right. So she's the mediator. She goes, when they enter the presence of Tata Nzambe, of the Creator, she goes first because she has that purifying energy. She bears that light with her. All right. And the role of a mediator, of a woman, you know, a mediator, it's also a diplomat, right? It's like an ambassador, right? And every ambassador, before they leave their country to go, you know, to the country of mission, they can't leave the country until they have their letter of mission that they go and present to the president of the country they're going to go in mission. So as us women, as, you know, mediator, we are in reality ambassadors of the Creator. All right? We are the recipient and custodian of his sacred flame of light. So, you know, our mission on earth is to spread it, you know, among humanity, to spread it in the universe. So, and with that, you know, there's roles that we have to play. So as an ambassador of the sacred of Tata Nzambe, you know, custodian and recipient of the sacred flame of the light of God, you are to be loving. So to my beautiful and amazing Royals of Afrika, Us ladies, we have to be loving. I know it's hard to give something you were never given. I know my people, I know. But I'm challenging each one of you to find that love. It's in you. Okay? You just have to do the homework, is to cleanse, change your ways, and so on. And at that point, your body would be the perfect vessel to be the recipient of such light. Okay? So you can start by loving yourself. Yesterday in the chat, I covered the fact that, you know, it's important that we learn to love ourselves. And how do we learn how to love ourselves? We start spending time with ourselves. We give ourselves 30 minutes, 45 minutes, or an hour a day just to take care of ourselves, where we're not serving anybody, we're not attending anybody, we're just taking care of ourselves. It's called self-care. So we have to go to that, to cultivate self-love. And another thing we need to learn to do is to set healthy boundaries with ourselves. You know, self-love is also, you know, make sure you're maintaining your appearance, your body exactly the way you love yourself, not the way the world want to necessarily see you, you know, but the way you know it's right, the way you know it's graceful, the way you know it's elegant, it's not perverted and anything. So love. You also have to be a healer, okay? When you the recipient of the sacred flame of the light of God, you know, you should be able, you know, to heal people, to heal situation, to heal conflict, right? You know, to just make people feel better by coming, you know, in contact with you, by talking to you, by spending time with you. So it's very important, you know, to take on that role as a healer. All right? You have to be a healer, you know. So what does it mean? I need to break it down to us, my beautiful and amazing Royals of Afrika. We can't be the ones, you know, causing harm to people. Because even remember when we were little, when we get hurt, especially after your parents told you not to go do something, and then behind their back, you still went ahead and did it and you got hurt. So your mom would come and maybe chew you out, you know, but nevertheless, she's going to get to the task to heal you, to bring the alcohol, to disinfect the wound or whatever. She'll get to the task and do it. So it's important that we keep that in mind, you know, especially in the family. You make sure the kids are okay, everybody is balanced, not neglecting anybody. Give the same amount of love, you know, to the children, to your spouse, to whatever, you know, and be that healer. Because when you're well balanced, well calibrated, people will heal by just coming in contact with you. Okay? So she has to give love. She has to be a healer. She has to be a mediator. We covered that already. Now let's go to number 4. She has to be a conservator. When you receive all these things, you have to know how to preserve it, how to conserve it. It means the woman has to be conservative in nature. So whatever is given to her, she has to either multiply it, or embellish it, or, you know, and keep it. That's why back in the days, some men still do it. Some men who know, you know, they married the real queen. She's the one who keeps the bank, you know, because a real woman is cautioned with money, because she has to make sure her home never runs out of supplies. So she doesn't spend foolishly. You know, she's very conservative in the way she spends, you know. So she's a conservative. If you buy her a house, she will turn it into a beautiful home. All right, taking care of it. So gentlemen, our Monkos is out there. You have to see the signs. You have to see signs of a woman being off balance, you know, before you can pursue her. So before things get out of hand and then people fight, so the things you need to look at is she tidy? Is her place a mess? You know, that she takes a bath every day and so on. And of course, she will have her list of requirements for you as well. But these are signs, because once you know, you can do better, you can choose better partners and stuff like that. Okay, so she has to be the conservator of everything she receives. So if she receives a house, she turns it into a home. Okay, she receives a seed, she turns it into a baby, she multiplies, she gives horns. Conservative, and she has to keep the man in good mental state. And all this I'm talking about, I'm not asking our beautiful and amazing daughters out there to be of such service to people who don't respect them, to people who call them names, you know, because some people you can try to teach them by showing them how they should love you, by loving them that way. You can show them how to treat you, how to respect you by the way you treat and respect them. But it doesn't always guarantee that it will be reciprocated. Okay? So all this I'm talking about is when you're dealing with a Monkosi, or you're dealing with someone who has shortcomings, who knows, who's conscious about being a work in progress, who admits his shortcoming, who's not too proud to admit that he has a problem and need help, and allows you to fulfill that mission. I want to be clear, I'm not the type of queen or the type of mom that will send you to entertain an idiot. Okay? Better alone that be with just someone that will keep you off purpose. Okay? Make sure you remember that, my beautiful and amazing queens and princesses out there. Okay, so let's continue. So you will see, like, for example, in our society, we had what is called the separation of power from back in Egypt, back in ancient Kemet. You know, we've always had that separation. The Sankus were the priesthood. So the priesthood, they're represented by the blue color, according to our ancestors, according to our people. The Nzankus. The Nzankus, it was the priesthood, or what would be the religious branch, all right? And then we had the Mpanvus, what we call Mpanvus, were the kings, all right? That was the executive power, you know, in our society. So we call them the Mpanvus, okay? And then we had the Nzingas. The Nzingas is the judiciary. So the judges and everything. So roles were predetermined. It's funny when they say that we were savages and so on. And after colonization, they even put a colonial debt on us for teaching us, according to them, for teaching us how to, you know, dress their stupid wear, you know, eat with a fork or whatever they brought and enforced on us. They told us it's called colonial debt. So for that, we will retain rights of 75% to 80% of your natural resources. And that colonial debt is indefinite. So that's why, if you wonder why Africa is on fire now, it's because they're trying to undo all these stupid post-colonial agreements. So yes, they found us. We had our society already defined. So as you could see, the Nsakus, you know, were the priesthood. So the religious branch, and then we had the Mpanvus, who is the king. So the Mpanvus today will be the presidents, all right, the executive power. And then we have the Nzingas, who are the judges. But and yet they dare call us savages. Never mind, moving forward. So what does it mean? It means that back in the days, the king, he has the role of, the executive power. He's like the blacksmith, right? And what does he need by his side? It was a requirement. His wife had to be the daughter of the priest. Okay, so the king, he's the yellow color. The king, the executive is yellow, the priesthood is blue, and the judiciary was represented by the red color. So you could never come like being a priest and just decide to become a king. No, it was not possible. Each role had to be kept separated. But now, to ensure that the king in the head of the land still maintains that connection to the creator, to Tatanzambe, he had to marry as wife or as the principal wife. It usually was the daughter of the priest, because she was trained, she was raised with that in mind, to preserve the sacred flame of the light of God. She was taught from a very young age who she is and what is her mission on earth. So while she's next to the king, while she's sitting next to the king, what she would do is she will remind of the king of the love he must have for the kingdom or for the country. Her role is to tell the king, listen, I know you don't want to do this, but the people need this. She will, remind the king of the love he must have for the people, so that's the role. And she is there to make sure, the kingdom looks good and everything. So you see, we already had everything, predefined, because with a woman who knows her role, she will talk sense into the king's mind when he tries to fall out of line. She will consult with Tatanzambe and say, okay, we have this issue. So how should we navigate it? How may I help you? I'm using it. I'm live. Okay. So basically, you have to kind of see how important and how crucial her role is. So now moving forward, she had at all times to maintain peace in the land by, speaking this word of wisdom in the king's ears, because she's that direct connection to Tatanzambe. All right, so let's continue. So number one, she has to give love and teach love. Number two, she has to be a healer. Number three, she has to be a mediator, no gaslighting. Some women will accompany their men to commit crime. Really, my queens? No. It's different when we didn't know anything, but now we know better. So let's do better, okay? Please teach all these things to our kids. Teach that to our daughters. They are not born to be on anybody's pole. They are not born to walk the street of somebody. They are not born to sell themselves for favors. Please, all right? They are very important. Without us, without them, without the women, the world will be doomed, period. So basically there were requirements in order to be part of the executive power, meaning the bamboos, to be like a king and stuff like that. There were two requirements. Number one, you had to be initiated, and number two, you had to be married, from the lineage of priesthood. So the priest's daughter must be your wife or one of your wives, because that connection had to be there when God was at the center of everything we did. Okay, so let's continue. The number five role is to be the ennoblement. All right, so ennoblement, and this is very interesting because The role of a woman next to a man is just not to be a wife. That was the Munzungus, when they try to retire their women, and they say needs to sit there and be quiet, because they were determined to tear up the world. So the woman couldn't speak anymore. And those of their women who were in tune with who they were through their connection with the divine or whatever, guess what? Anything that touched to the spiritual, the psychic, the seers and stuff, they're labeled as a witch. And you know what they did to the people they labeled as witch? They burned them on a stake. So you see, so she had to be quiet and let him run the show. And this is where we are, the world they have created. And many of them don't like it anymore. Haha, too bad. We in it. And so basically she has to have a role of a nobleman. What is a nobleman? A nobleman, according to the English, definition, is to elevate, to magnify, to respect, to dignify, all these things, to bring forth excellence. It's like some women, you will have them in your life and they bring out the best in you, So they bring out the best in you and stuff because they're in tune with who they are. They're in tune with who they can, they're supposed to be on earth. So, gentlemen, when you identify a good woman, please do right by her. Do right by her. Okay? So she has to do that. So she has to embody the spirit of a nobleman. It means when a man comes in our lives, number one, his status changes. He goes from a boy to a man. Because, gentlemen, our elders tell us that no matter how old you are and no matter how rich you are, if you're still single, you're just a boy. In the assembly of men, you will not give a turn to speak, because you can speak in an assembly of, established men. They have wives. So it means that somebody is serving as a liaison to the creator. It means that that man is wise and so on. So back in the days, the single guy couldn't be a member of the elders. And it's still like that. You can't be an elder in a community if you're single. Who's going to let you speak around fellow men? Not the fathers I know. So, yes, she has to embody that spirit. And nobleman, what word in our vernacular can I use? That daughter of ours, Beyonce, Queen Beyonce. She had a song where she was singing about upgrading her men. Papi, papi, let me upgrade you. Yes, that's exactly what she was talking about. Because no matter how, no matter how rich or powerful a man think he is, for our elders, you're just a boy. You're just a rich boy, my dear. Okay? So when you marry a woman, when you bring her in your life, or you getting hooked, connected with some serious connection, you have a helper, a divine helper dispatched by the creator, right? Who's able to purify your environment, who's able to heal you when you sick, who's able to build you up, who's able to make you a king overnight after you say I do. It's like, whoa. So you see, so, you have to ennoble him. If he was a gangster, tell him no. No, I won't entertain a gangster. It's not happening, right? So you show him another way. If he was making most of his money selling illegal substances, you say, well, maybe we can do something legit, you know, maybe we can build a legit business, stuff like that. So you are to bring up that status. That's why the woman is abundant. Many men have observed when you marry a woman, all of the sudden it seems like all doors open because you have a pure woman. Her intentions are pure at all time. Anything she touches is bound to work and to multiply. Some people, whether men or women, when you start observing them, anything they touch, they break, they destroy. You could see them with the most beautiful girl. The minute he marries the girl, she just look like somebody else. He's there abusing her, talking down on her, treating her like a piece of garbage, and break her self-esteem so other men won't look at her. You see? So you have to realize, gentlemen, that you're doing a disservice to yourself and to humanity as a whole when you mistreat one of us. Because we have a very super duper important mission to fulfill here on earth. All right? So the woman upgrades him. That's what it means. And last but not least, you know, the mission of spreading the purity of God. Okay? The light of purity. What is really purity? Anything free of perversion, anything free of contamination, you know, anything free of toxicity. Okay, my ladies, how do you cultivate like purity to become pure? No matter what people say, be your true authentic self. Only speak of the things you believe in, okay? If you see somebody hard about something, go and withdraw. When you spend that 1 hour with yourself, ask yourself and ask Tatanzambe to reveal to you if this is the path he wants you to take. Okay? So let us just summarize. In part 1, we covered that she is the man's divine helper. In part 2, we covered that she is the essential liaison bridge for all the things we already talked about. And in part 3, you know, she is the guardian of the sacred flame of the light of God. So the flame of love, the flame of healing, the flame of mediatorship, no gaslighting. When you want to fall out of line, I used to see our mothers and stuff, they caution their men. No, 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 no. If that woman, whatever. First of all, I never seen our father discuss somebody's wife, discuss somebody's sister. No. Our fathers are on cozy day. You never see them put their mouth on a woman and start tearing her down. Never. Never. So our mothers on the continent don't have to do it. But maybe lately, with all the trend, the equal opportunity stuff, just to get us further and further lost, more and more lost than we already are. Don't follow that trash, that garbage. It wasn't designed with you in mind. It was for their own benefit. All right? To just get a whole, you know, mankind lost in perversion. Okay, my beautiful and amazing Royals of Africa. So that was for today. We will continue tomorrow, all right, with part 4. And I'll put the link on the description box below if you want to watch the full version of this message, because I know my amazing and beautiful Royals of Afrika are spoiled and they want their queen to break it down to them. So here I am, my lovelies. So let's keep in mind, never forget what our role is. And as we talked yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, it's very important that we start the healing process. I hope each one of you has started your sheet. Write down the name of the king or the queen you want to be and all the attributes you want that king to have, keeping in mind, you know, what our role is, ladies. So incorporate purity, incorporate love, incorporate justice. Always stand for that which is right. All right. So when you host, when you the host of that sacred flame of the light of God, you will see yourself morph into a divine beauty. Your light will blind the haters, like they call them on these YouTube streets. Okay, so in healing, we have to, yesterday I covered a topic about brotherhood. Like a brother must be a friend, a brother must be an assistant, a brother must be a protector. So if we have family members who don't act nothing like that, you know, you can keep your distance, but, you know, heal yourself so you can heal them, even from a distance. So we have to understand that the way we do things in our community, you know, we lost touch with everything. Our people in the diaspora, they need to have access to these teachings, because we can't just blame people. You know, it makes me so upset when some idiot get there and start, you know, listing everything our people do wrong. But you took away everything from them, including their name. What do you expect? So you see, it's just that our people didn't have the proper information. Now that you have access to information, my beautiful and amazing Royals of Afrika, Banatatas, Banananas, do the work. Please do. Okay? Many of us, unfortunately, have become our former masters. What did our former masters? I briefly told you that the audacity of them to come to our land, invade us, and tear down everything we built to replace it with their system. For them, when they got tired, you know, to turn around and say, okay, you now become independent. But because I taught you how to use a fork, a knife, and I taught you to wear my stupid dressing, I have to charge you for life. I own your country at 75 and 80%. So this is what we're still in. That battle is still on. Although all the evil they did, and now they're trying to erase it from history book in the name of race theory, because they worry about how the children gonna be viewed. But they're continuing evil. As we're speaking right now, Africa is on fire. We're fighting over there. Mali has broken free. Burkina Faso is next. And the fire of freedom is catching our people, and there's nothing they can do. Absolutely nothing. So as we know, America is there. Very faithful ally of France. But I hope that what America would do is to lay low this time. I really hope for them, because, you know, whether you like it or not, we have ties with America. They stole millions of our children, and millions of us are here. So we became that dysfunctional family, nevertheless family. Millions of our kids answer their stupid last names. Okay? To me, it's called family. So you did all the dirt you wanted to do. I think it's time you lay low, because it won't work. This awakening of our people is set to happen, and no one can stop it. So, you know, I really would like the white women to take their place next to their men. That life of effortless luxury has cost all of them, all of us, and they're paying themselves. They're not happy. I mean, this is what we see on TV. We see them in their meetings, how they trample on people's stuff. So imagine the women who live with them. They're going through too. So my question to them is, do you like it? No matter the killing, no matter the raping, no matter the stealing, you guys are broke and are going now to invade Africa again. What do you say about that? Huh? It never worked and it will never work. So if you don't stand for justice, you don't stand for purity, you don't stand for love, there's no wealth you can amass that you'll be able to keep forever, that you will be able to, to enjoy fully. That's not the way. We as women, we have to go back to that which God sent us on earth for. Point blank, period. Like my amazing Royals of Afrika say. So you could see the trickiness in many of us. Some of our sons, or those who don't even identify as African anymore, they learn so much from their former masters. You could see in the way they move, the same moves of their former masters. Our former masters were the stinky ones, the French, those who we were able to identify how tricky they are. These people are really easy to beat. All it takes is us to unite as one. Bananas, banatatas. They're very easy to beat. We have been the problem all along. That's why I don't buy into the complaining, the pull me, pull this, pull that. If we stand together as one and obey hierarchy, okay, and obey hierarchy in our homes, in our offices, in our business dealing. Tatanza may brought you a divine helper, but you feel justified to beat on her. No. Some of our sons, when we came to the scene, they were coming to attack us. Okay? One of the biggest bully I had to really put in his place. He went to our website, he went to our pages, literally littering on our creation, like their masters did. Came to Africa, ransacked things, raped women, stripped kings naked of their crown, cut off their head, and paraded around like a trophy. Their former master did that, they're doing that. So they come to our side, they come and spew venom, they come and litter our stuff, say how crappy it is, how our people in the diaspora shouldn't listen to us, all right? Just for them to turn around, all right, and have the same content. That big bully I put in his place. I mean, if you read his new titles, you can laugh. You'll be like, you should just act the Bantu way and it be a Nubian title. Because that's what our former master taught them. They came to our land, murdered our kings, ransacked our land, took our people, brought them here, and they started the brainwashing. The brainwashing, Africa is dirty, Africa is poor, Africa is this, and that, and your people sold you. So that's why none of you dare go back after you became free, because they already put that in your mind. So this is how they block teachings from reaching the intended parties, because they want to be the guru to deliver it. They want to feel important in front of their followers, instead of uniting, working together as one. It's funny, they come and steal our content. Because if you see, I put the link on the description box below of the full version of the course about the sacred flame of the light of God. Our brothers over in Bantu, Zola Bantu, posted it 3 months ago. So before they copy the content, they go on the attack. They show, oh, see this face. If you see it on the net, attack them. They're liars, they're this, they're that. People who never set foot on the continent. People who don't even know their name. They don't know their north from their south to their east and west. But they turn around and have similar content that they slightly modify. And they tell their people, they say some interesting thing, but not all of it is true. This is what their master taught them. The same thing they apply on us. They want to be big. They want to be a celebrity. Then they need for the fame. So our people out there in healing, identify these kind of people. Why are you so mad about what they have to teach? If you convince you in the truth, stay in the truth. So that's exactly what our former masters in America and in the Caribbean, everywhere they took our children, that's what they did to our children. After coming and ransacking, raping and killing and pulling our people out, they told them we sold them. They told them Africa is dirty. They will go there, make money, still corrupting Africa and draining whatever they want to take from there. But they put in many of you ears that Africa is dirty. It's the same thing. It's funny when you watch them move. I just shake my head. I'm like, damn it, these people, they have damaged many of our children because they move like them. As much as they claim they resent them, it's the same thing. Now all of a sudden people are talking about putting the family together, right? They come and steal the content and go regurgitate it. We should stand as one. We should stand as one if we want to stand a chance to make it. Okay? So that was it for today. Let me see. In the chat, in audience are all my beautiful banatatas and banananas. Remember I told you yesterday what it means? Banatatas, my father's children. Banananas, my mother's children. So of course, Monkosi JR is there. Sewelo, I see you, my princess. I see all my queen mothers and princesses and Monkosi. So if you are new to my channel, welcome. This is Nubia, the path to return, the home of the African royals. All right, so Taki, greetings, greetings, my royal. All right, of course, our Queen Hazel. Always so loyal. Thank you, my royal. Thank you. We have Princess Ada. We have Prophetic Girl 444. Welcome to Nubia, the path to return. We have all our kings and queens here. Kimuntu, Mbote. All right, we have all our royals. So thank you for tuning in tonight. So remember, my ladies, it's a work in progress, you know. We can't just expect to heal, you know, years, centuries, I should say, of abuse like that. You know, we have to detox to the DNA level so that our next generation won't carry the same wounds. We owe that to our little ones, don't you think? All right, so it's time for me to go. Some princess, my little one. Oh man, she's standing right there in front of the door. She's ready for me to get up. So thank you so much. So peace in your homes at all times. Because my beautiful queens, in order for you to be the recipient of that sacred flame of the light of God, you have to maintain peace around you. Okay? So love, remember, this is not a Ngningone thing. We have to give love. And I know some of us were never given love, so they can't give love. But nevertheless, don't think it's hopeless because it's in you. Tatanzambe made you, build you in a way where you are eligible. You know, you have everything it takes to receive that light of love. So don't worry. Just detox, tune in, you know, go watch yesterday's video, get your notebook, all right, write the page, you know, the name of the people on your blacklist, because black all right. I guess they don't want me to say that black is powerful. You know? And I even noticed that they deactivated my super chats and stuff. It's like they give you one thing with one hand, with the other one they take. But never mind. We won't let them stop us with their clownery. Okay, so if you still want to bless your queen, I put a link of the description box below. If you ask me, I prefer you to bless your queen through PayPal or through Zelle. Okay, so they don't hold it for 30 whatever days and then send it to you. So whatever obstacle they put on our path, we just have to overcome it until they can't mess with us anymore, because that time has come. All right, so peace in your homes, love in your heart at all time, and unity. All right, to my amazing and beautiful Royals of Africa. Until tomorrow, I love you much. Mwah.